Hello everyone, welcome back to Spoonful of Joe. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned because we'll be making authentic Caribbean style oxtail. So I bought 4 pounds of oxtail from the butcher, and I'm just going to make sure I clean it first. It was frozen, so I have defrosted it. So this is just some cold water, and I cut up some slices of lime. I'm gonna leave that and some vinegar. I did pour some vinegar into it. So I'm going to leave this to sit for about 5 minutes, and now I'm just gonna come back and squeeze all that lime juice right into it and leave it to sit for another about 3 minutes. And I repeat this twice before I actually start seasoning my oxtail. So really make sure you clean it. It's really important. A lot of people have comments about, oh, you don't have to clean your meat. Like, I don't know who told you guys that, but that's nasty. Clean your meat before you cook it. Like, what? So here you go. It's nice and clean. It's kind of out of focus here, but when the bone is like that type of color, you know that it's nice and clean. So now I'm gonna go and start chopping up everything I'll need to cook the oxtail. This is just some onion, garlic, ginger, and spring onion. So some of this will be going towards the marinating stage of the oxtail, and some of this will be going towards when I'm actually cooking it on the stove. So stay tuned because it's important to pay attention to that. So I used 1 whole onion. I don't know, I think I'm becoming a pro because the onions don't make me cry anymore. So, you know, I'll be feeling like somebody because when I watch my mom and she doesn't cry, I don't get it. But yeah, so just gonna dice up that onion as much as possible. I'm someone, I don't really like when you're eating the food and the onion is so big. Yeah. And now I'm just gonna cut up some ginger. I used to peel my ginger, but I don't peel it anymore because I heard the skin has like really good health benefits. So I said, okay, well, why not? I'm already eating basically fatty meat. So let me just leave on the skin on the ginger. So I'm just gonna cut this up as small as possible. And that's also gonna go into the marinating bowl with my oxtail. And last but not least, I'm cutting up a whole bulb of garlic. So this was an entire bulb of garlic. I think there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 cloves of garlic, but I used a whole bulb of garlic. Honestly, this garlic was a bit small, depending on the size of your garlic, obviously, but this was a small bulb of garlic, so I definitely used all of it. Okay, just cut that as small as possible. I don't know, I find it very satisfying to watch like things being cut. Is that normal? Well, in the cooking world, of course, duh. Okay, and last but not least, I'm cutting up my spring onion. I used about 3 stalks of spring onion for my marinating stage. Nice and clean. Now I'm cutting up 1 whole Scotch bonnet pepper. Low key, I should have worn gloves during that page, but there you have it, looking beautiful. Everything's in the bowl. So now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of pimento seeds, and a small bunch of thyme. I'm also gonna add 1 tablespoon of hot jerk seasoning. Hot, make sure it's hot. Well, if you like pepper. And now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of the Grace Oxtail marinade. So 2 and 3. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of browning. And now I'm just going to mix this all up. Again, using gloves because I don't want to get too messy. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. No, wow. This looks so good. Okay, so as always, similar to my jerk chicken video that I posted earlier, if you haven't watched that, please watch. It's really important that when you're marinating overnight, make sure you tightly seal your meat so you don't want any bacteria to get into it, and you also want the seasoning to really get in there. So now what I'm making is what we're going to add when we finally cook our oxtail. I used 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And I'm also going to add some ketchup. One, 2, 3 tablespoons of ketchup and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I'm going to whisk this together, and this will be added in when I'm making the oxtail. Okay, so now we're ready to cook our oxtail. I'm cooking this in a big Dutch oven pot and making sure I get everything in there, all the marinade, everything in there. And that's how it looks inside the pot. I'm now adding some water, so I added 3 cups of water for this time. And now I'm adding the little sauce that I made with it. I just use a spatula because it's easier to get everything out of the bowl. And here you have it. So I'm just gonna mix this together. Make sure the sauce is everywhere. Make sure it's not too crowded in one place, that the meat is evenly spread so that it can cook, and make sure that it has that tenderness that it needs. Now I'm adding 1 more cup of water. So in total, I added 4 cups of water. And now I'm going to cook. So I periodically checked up on the oxtail because I was cooking it in a pot, not a pressure cooker. In total, it did take about 3 hours to cook. So this is definitely something you start during the day. Don't say, oh, someone's coming over in an hour. Unless you have a pressure cooker, make sure you just do like this. So after about an hour, I'm adding green onion and normal onion to my mix. So some green onion and some normal onion. It already looks good. Oxtail takes a lot of patience, so we want our oxtail to have that fall off the bone texture. So please be patient. Please be patient. Speaking from experience, trust me, it's gonna take a long time, but it's so worth it. So about another hour later, I've washed my butter beans. So this is 1 can of butter beans, or also called lima beans, and I'm mixing that into the oxtail. So near when your oxtail is about to be finished, it's more tender, that's when you add your butter beans. So I add the butter beans in the last about 20 minutes of when my oxtail is cooking. And as you can see, it is tender and the water is pretty thick. It's thick enough. It's as thick as it has to be. Look at that, looking nice, looking tender. Yum. Yep. So I checked and it's definitely soft. It has that tenderness and it has the exact texture that I want it to have. So my oxtail is ready. Look at the pot spinning. So here we have it. There's my oxtail all finished. I had it with some rice and peas. If you would like to watch how I made my rice and peas, please check out my previous video. And please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.